Hello, in this programming video we are going to look at multi-threaded priority queues. So we're going to use the queue module, which essentially allows us to create a new queue that can have a specific number of items, and it just means it's more efficient. We can easily queue more thread if we need to. So we'll need to do a few slight changes to our program. So this init method, that's fine. That is, for the most part, not changing. Everything else is all good. So this is more going to be to do with queue and not counter anymore, but I'll leave the name as it is because that doesn't really matter. So in the run self, we have the starting time, that's good. We're not going to do the thread lock anymore. We're going to have that ending one that we had a couple of videos back. So exiting, and here I'm going to call it not time function, I want to call it process data, because what it's doing is processing the queue now, so it's something slightly different. Actually, I'll rename this to queue because it's more explanatory of what it is. It's like the queue part of it. So let me process the data. Again, this is a method that we're going to rename the time function to this and do modifications to that. So self.name, self.queue. Okay, so now that we've got that done, this needs to change to process data and thread. We'll call this queue. No counter. So we need the exit flag again that we removed. Exit flag equals 0. We also need to import another module, queue. We will keep all of the other modules that we imported. We will need them. So here, so while not exit flag, while the exit flag, while it's not, what we're going to be doing is, if I delete this, it'll be just generally a lot easier. I'm going to do queue lock dot acquire, and now what we're going to do is if not work queue. So if the work queue isn't empty, so if there is actually something in the queue, we are going to get the data. The data equals queue dot get, then queue lock dot release, print CentS processing CentS. So this is just what it's processing, or thread, and here we'll just put thread and data. So thread, thread and data. Okay, so we still need a bit more because we're going to need to create more lists. So what I'm actually going to do is delete. I would say I'm going to delete all of this. It will. I'll delete this part of it. This is going to be a lot easier. So I'm going to say for. So we're going to get all of the threads in the thread list. So for all of these threads in the thread list, I haven't even, there's lists here that I totally forgot. So we need to create a thread list. So what we're going to do, so this is a lot more dynamic. That's going to say thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, name list equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to do queue lock equals threading dot lock do work queue equals queue dot queue 10. And now we're going to do threads. So we're going to create that threads list again. And I'm going to have a thread ID. Set that initially to 1. So we've got a name list and we've got a thread list as well. So it's just easy, allows us to create more threads and just add them to our list. And using our our loops, our loopity loops, we will be able to run threads a lot easier. So again, just making it more and more efficient every single video. So in this for loop, we're going to do thread equals epic thread ID. So we just need to specify the thread ID, the thread name, and the work queue, which is just this variable right here. So now we need to do is start the actual thread. Now we do threads dot append. Now we're going to actually add the thread to the threads list that we created here. So this is essentially what we had in the previous tutorial, but we've got it in this for loop now because again we don't know how many we're going to have, so we put it in the for loop, and however many we have we'll add it to the threads list. Now we're going to do threads, thread ID, and increment it by 1 so it has a new ID every single time, otherwise it will mess up. And now we need to do qlock.acquire. Let me scroll down a bit. And now we're going to do for word in name list, not an name list. Work queue dot put word queue lock dot release while not work queue dot empty. And now in the path. So this is very similar to what we had before in the first video. We've got exit flag equals 1 because we now want to run an exit in it, and there's a lot of code there. Run it and hopefully it works, and yes it does. So that is it, and yeah, let's see. Obviously no time is displayed because we wasn't using time function, processing data through a multi-threaded priority queue. So that's it for the threading part of this little series. And combine what you've learned over these past few videos together. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have, and I look forward to seeing you in the next awesome programming video.